Hey guys, Jimmy again with Progressive Performance, and today we're talking about the third most important principle in organizing a diet. We've talked about the overarching principles, we've talked about calories, we've talked about macronutrients, and now we're going to talk about fiber and water content in the diet. When we look at fiber and water content, this is predominantly going to affect our carbohydrate choices because these are going to be our nutrients that contain fiber. Okay? General rule of thumb, 14 to 16 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories of your diet. Okay? Now, when we look at our fiber content, there's a couple of reasons why we want to have a higher fiber diet in that it's going to help you have a more controlled diet and help you to make better gains in the gym as well. Now, when we look at these, we're going to have a blood sugar control, okay? So it's going to be a lot easier to stick to your diet because you're not having these spikes and then these falls in blood sugar because you're eating sugar all the time. You're also going to have more satiety, so this fiber is going to keep you fuller for longer periods of time as opposed to these sugars which digest a lot faster. When you're looking at digestion time of carbohydrate, I mean, these sugars can digest, in as little as half an hour. When you're looking at these higher fiber carbohydrates, we're looking at a 2-hour period in which that's being digested in your system. You're going to be fuller longer. And then we're looking at higher nutrient density. So for the most part, if foods are higher in fiber, they're going to also be higher in micronutrients. They're going to be more nutrient dense. When you compare, say, oatmeal to Gatorade or a yam to a gummy bear, there's a lot more nutrients on this end and a lot more fiber as well. And you'll have happy bowels, right? Regular bowel movements. You're not going to get gastrointestinal distress as much. You make sure you hit the right amount of fiber. Now, one caveat here is if you're eating a very low fiber diet currently, increase your fiber slowly. You don't want to add a ton of fiber in all at once because that's going to really mess up your GI, okay? It's not going to feel very good. So slowly increase that fiber amount until you get to this number, okay? Now, we'll move on to water content, okay? Water content in the diet is important, especially for people that are trying to express the most strength possible, which is predominantly the people that I train. But dehydration can account for up to a 10% decrease in strength. So if you're pulling 500 from the floor, you're only pulling 450 that day because you're dehydrated, okay? You got to make sure you're getting enough water in as part of your diet. We look at this, we look at our general recommendations from the Mayo Clinic here. We're looking at 3 liters a day for men and 2 liters a day for women. This can vary a little bit depending on body size. If you're bigger, you're going to need a little more water, okay? Now, when you're exercising, 600 milliliters during exercise additional on top of this here, all right? Now, this is all going to change a little bit depending on what sports you participate in. Obviously, endurance athletes are going to need a lot more water than, say, our strength athletes because you're not doing as much work, you're not sweating as much as a strength athlete in your training. That's all of this in a nutshell here. We'll dive into the other principles later. But hope this helps, and moving on.